Hello everyone, this is James from Vanguard TV. I'm here with the Messiah deck, released new from all the new stuff from GBT03. So I'll start with starters and move on to grade 3s and so on. So for my starter, I run this starter. So its skill is a Forerunner and has a GB1 skill. GBT Generation Break 1. You may push him into the soul. You lock one of your units and one of your opponent's units. So I run him instead of the Neon Messiah, whose skill is when it's unlocked, you may search for one Messiah grade 3, which will be this guy. But I find that I would prefer to have control over my opponent's field over preparing myself for strike next turn, because in the early games this deck is really slow in the early games now. So you need about maybe on your second strike, then your deck starts to accelerate really quickly due to alter ego skill. So I prefer to have control as soon as I strike. That's why I run him over Messiah. Okay, the grade 3s, obviously you run 3 alter ego. It's the new Chaos Breaker Dragon of the Messiah deck. So it has 2 skills, same as every break strike. I like to call them break strikes. So there's a GB2 skill where it's a CBD skill. When something is unlocked, you draw 1. However, it has advantage over CBD, saying that you can draw whenever a card is unlocked. So it isn't restricted to your opponent's end phase like Chaos Breaker Dragon. However, in addition to that, also your Soul Blast isn't as special, so which makes it a lot more versatile than Chaos Breaker Dragon. But it's a GB2 or GP Generation Break 2 skill. Excuse me. So it's your main way you gain a hand size from in this deck and keep yourself alive. Then the second skill is when something G unit strikes over him. When Counter Blast 1, lock one of your units and one of your opponent's units. So this gives you control of your opponent's field every turn, which I find is a very good addition to a deck like this. A very control based deck like Joker has always been. Also it gives the bank at 5k. I don't think 5k really matters actually, but if it does, it does lah, but I sometimes forget about it because like alright, so the main focus will be on first skill. First skill we letting you draw. It's a GB2 skill, so I prefer to strike into Blizzard early game. My first strike actually. Then the second skill, it's more of being able to set up your combos. So for one Counter Blast, you lock one of your opponents and lock one of your cards. So in this deck, the balance between locking and unlocking your own cards is one of the big issues in the new Messiah deck. So this is one of the ones that are a bit more cost effective for one Counter Blast. So the next grade 3s I run is Dark Zodiac. It's the Legion. So I'm pretty sure everybody knows what it does, but if not, on Legion, Counter Blast 1, Omega Lock, and whatever is on the field, and then the other skill is can discard itself, like discard the Vanguard lah. So if it's in Legion, this automate to lock one front row and back row. So I run this because I find that with being able to draw a lot and having to strike every turn, and Link Joker being a bit of a draggy or sustained deck, you drag the game out really long and sometimes you run the risk of backing out. So running a Legion saves as a safety net to prevent you from any of these from happening. So that's why I run a Legion. Secondly, I choose this Legion because I find that it pairs very well together with Nebula Crunch Dragon. So because Nebula Crunch Dragon locks a unit for 2 turns and then after that it's unlocks. So this skill that you prolong that Omega Lock and maybe add 2 more cards to that lock again. That's why I like this over the GB stuff, although it's like on call free lock or whatever. I still prefer this. Next, the grade 2s. So grade 2s, I run 2 offs of these 3 cards. The Monk, Arousal Messiah, and 2 Dust Blade, if I'm not wrong. So this is the unlocker, the promo unlocker. Its skill is when it attacks, unlock 1 unit either on your field or your opponent's field, and it gains 4k, making it 13k attacker. So this is one of the cards that unlock, balancing out the locking cards that are locked in this deck. Next we have Arousal Messiah. Arousal Messiah skill is when it is unlocked, you may stand a unit and give it 2000 power. So you combo this together with Blast Monk, where it is locked either from your starter skill or Lady Battler skill or Alter Ego skill. And he swings for 13, having unlocked this. After the attack is over, this here kicks in, stands it, give it to Kim, again 15k attacker. So it doesn't really hit any magic numbers. But it does give you extra attack in case you trigger check on your Vanguard and give the power hit or something lah. So yeah, that's why I run this too. I don't rely on this combo too much because I don't find that it helped me out that much, but it's there if I need it to. That's why I only have 2 of each. Next, last 2 more. I have 2 dust blades. So this is the basic when it's boosted GB1 do something lah. So its skill is GB1 when it's boosted, attacks the Vanguard, counterblast 1, lock one of your opponent's grade 2 or lower units. So I only run 2 of this because I find that it's not as effective with his counterblast compared to like Alter Ego or something. Because Alter Ego lets you lock one of your units, which help you set up your bigger combos later on. So that's for 1 counterblast, and you still get a lot of opponent's unit. But this only locks your opponent's unit, so I don't really like to expand my too much counterblast on him. So sometimes I do require its skill because sometimes you do need a bit more control when you might be starting out earlier out in the game, or your opponent has something a bit more threatening like a L'Oreal or something, and you can lock with this. So yeah, so I run that. Next I got 3 of the Astral Reapers. I got the foil ones, promo foil ones though. So Astral Reapers, you run Legion, you need the mate. So yeah, and I only run 3, even though you need to Persona Blast in this deck. It's a vanilla in the deck. You will never want to use its skill, and that's about it. But the foil looks really nice. So yeah, get the foil one if you can. Next, my last grade 4 grade 2s, I run the Lady Battler. Her skill is one of the more important skills in the deck. So its skill is during main phase, active, you can lock one of your units to gain help. Let this unit gain 4k power, making 13k attacker. So this might seem like a simple skill, but this allows you to play set up bigger combos, as you do need to unlock some of your cards, or unlock cards, or have locked cards to activate some of the skills. So I find that having 4 is very good, and because the only way you lock yourself in is either by this or Alter Ego, so I don't mind running 4 of her, and she gains a power up, so that if that does come in play, it's a bonus for you. Yeah, because you want to be able to lock 3 lah. So Alter Ego gives you 1, this gives you 1, on other rear guard you get to do another 1, so that is like 3 for MNSD if you really are that desperate to lock 3. Yeah. Next, the great ones, I have 1 AK vanilla. So it's the SP one though, I don't know where I got it from. So I want 1 vanilla because I have 6 cards that boost themselves up to 13k. So 13k doesn't really hit any special magic numbers, but together with AK booster it goes up to 21, and I find that it's very good way of putting pressure on your opponent. So that's what the 1 AK that is there for. I don't want too many any more than 1, because I don't want I have other things to I need space for other things, so I make sure I have 1, and if I do get the 21k column off, it's a bonus for me. If not, I just write it away or something. But as a right, I don't mind it. I don't think it's too bad either. I can 10k no pass with my opponent early game. So yeah, the next great ones I have are the 3 Dark Metal Chameleons. It's the promo that came with the booster box. So its skill is GB1 when it is unlocked. Anyway, either by doing the end phase or by ult effect, you can unflip 1 damage. So this is extremely important part of the deck, because many of your larger skills do counterblast for 1, but you do activate 2 or 3 skills a turn, so you do need to unflip constantly, and this is a very consistent way to help you unflip. It being such an important important card. I don't run 4 of it because it has a resist skill. So as soon as you put it down, it will more or less stay there untouched unless you lock it yourself or something, which I find is a very good unit to give resist to make it a bit being so important to the Messiah deck to function properly for counterblast. So yeah, here's I run 3 of this. The next grade ones I run are 4 of these, the Messiah searches or grade 1 strike fodder, all this, because you do need alter ego to give yourself the extra draws in the deck, so you do have to make a point to try and add alter ego to your hand early in the game. That's why you have 4 of this. It's a strike deck, so you do have to strike, so this are more additional stuff to strike with. Lastly, run 4 perfect guards. Normal stuff, you run 4 perfect guards. I run a flipping one, the new flipping ones, because you do need the damage. It is that important. So for triggers, I like to go with my normal 4-5-7 combo. So 4 heals. Oh yeah, and Lean Joker, we have tons and tons of hit triggers, and in the Messiah deck you don't need any like specific special or anything, so you can have fun with the triggers. So I decided to go with, like, if I can have different art, why not just go with all different art. So this for the heals, I have 4 different art for the heals and 7 crits. The crits are also all different art crits, but I'm pretty sure there's more than 7 different arts, so you can go crazy with it actually. Then for the draws, I run 5 draws. However, I can't have the special crazy thing with the draws because they provide us with a new Margot clone, which is moving to soul for 3k. So the 3k is important because you have 6 units that are 13k attackers. With the extra 3k, it boosts them up to 16, which is a matching number, having to throw 10k per opponent. So it's good, and also it feels soul for alter ego. So that's why you must run this. And there's no more effect. Lean Joker draws the effect, so I have to stick with one of the normal ones. So that's the main deck. Then I'll move on to the extra deck. So the extra deck, I think it's a bit different from the others, but I do have my reasons which I'll go through. So my first one will be Blizzard. Blizzard will always, or more or less always, be my first strike because of its skill to being able to flip something else up in my G zone. So this would be able to immediately activate my alter ego's GBT03 skill to draw. So on your turn, you strike over alter ego. Alter ego counterblast on, you lock one of your units, and its skill counterblast on to flip one of your G units face up. So at the end of the turn, this returns and your unit unlocks, which activates alter ego skill, so you can immediately start to draw one. Start drawing already. And at the end of your opponent's turn, the unit you lock unlocks to draw one again. So yeah, that's why I think this is really important to start off your advantage. So I run one more of the one that comes in the trial deck. Its skill is I run 2 of the ones that come in the trial deck. It is when it attacks, hits the opponent Vanguard, you may lock one of the opponent's back row. So only the back row. So it's less threatening to your opponent, but you also get to unlock one of your units. So that might be a bonus. Maybe you unlock an arousal Messiah or something. You get a free attack. But other than that, I don't usually strike with this unless I have like no damage and I can strike or whatever lah. So just strike this over and try and hit lah. So that's about it for this, the basic ones. Next I run 3 Amnesty Messiah. Expensive stuff though. It's like broke the shit for card prices and shit together with PBD. So now this is like 9k in Japan. 9k yen in Japan is almost about $100 in Singapore. It's SGD. It's crazy shit. But there are reasons. So its skill is when it attacks, counterblast 1, unlock as many cards as you would like, and it gains 3k for each unlock card. And if you do unlock 3 or more cards with this skill, it gains 1 extra critical. So I run 3 because it's such a major part of my deck. Because I have cards that lock my units, but unlocking them is his job. So this will be able to give me 2 crit Vanguard for 2 turns, which actually is really pressurizing. Either your opponent is at 4 damage or 3 damage and they fear a crit trigger and you have triple check some more. And being able to unlock 3, because you unlock cards, you lock cards to give yourself extra power for Lady Battler, or to lock your opponent's unit with Alter Ego or your starter. So by unlocking them, you more or less unlock your opponent's card or gain the power for free. So I like this so much. This together with the Chameleon is like a free cost. There's no counterblast, no nothing, you just gain power and a crit. So I run 3. Some people focus less on MNST and run maybe 2 or 1, using more blast monks or anything as their main upflip option, but I do prefer running this. It is more accessible, as I don't have to wait to draw into it to unlock. That's why I prefer to keep myself this. My last 2 strikes, I have 2 Nebula Crunch, so my strike deck isn't the normal ones where I run 4 Nebula Crunch or like 4 of the ones that you flip yourself with. The Nebula Cruncher's skill is Blast 1, G0 Persona, and lock 1 column for 2 turns. It's like you lock it and you give it Omega Lock, so it's 1 for 1. People run more than 1 because they feel like, oh, what if I'll unlock it back again? So I don't face this problem because I replace it with Dark Zodiac. Dark Zodiac replaces the second turn of Nebula, but that means that Dark Zodiac must come immediately after Nebula, which I don't find a problem since you're drawing drawing very quickly with Alter Ego and you run into it pretty quickly. So I run 2. So the thing is that you don't really need the second Nebula to carry on, like unlock 4. So you can do it with Dark Zodiac, so you can strike, flip itself, lock 1 column. Next turn you can have Dark Zodiac out again. Right over Legion, you can't blast 1. You don't even have, if you don't have a copy of the Vanguard, doesn't matter, you get lock, you can just counter blast 1 to carry on the lock, or if you do, you can lock 2 more with its own Persona discards, Persona Blast skill, and then Omega Lock again. So that's why I find Dark Zodiac a lot more useful than having to take up 2 spaces in my G-Zone for Nebula. So I know it's a bit different from what people would expect, having to run only 2 of the Nebulas, but I have my reasons, and yeah, so that's my take on the Messiah deck featured in the video. So yeah, thanks for watching and stay tuned for more videos.